Yes, for a brief moment. Yes, I did colonics. Most people don't even know that.
It's so good for you.
So many moons ago.
So tell us how the hell, because there was a long period of time that I didn't see you.
Right.
And the next thing I know, you're a YouTube star. Millions of people will follow you. You're funny as hell. I knew you were funny.
Yes.
But you, to me, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong, you jumped in on the YouTube thing real early.
In the beginning.
Okay, explain that, because people right now are trying to figure out how the fuck can I blow up? How can I go viral? And it's like every video you do goes viral.
Thank you. Yes.
Explain.
And comes back.
And comes back.
So funny. Like, wow, that was viral a while ago. Now it's back. So I appreciate
Give us
that.
the secret. Give us the secret.
Well, I did start when it was the beginning, because comedy in the late night, it was getting hard. You know, you were killing. I would see you at Chocolate Sundays, and that was great.
Right.
But it was late night, and I was teaching in the daytime. And when YouTube came
What type
around,
of teacher were you?
I taught anatomy and physiology.
Okay. Cool. So finish saying what you're saying.
Yes. So I was like, oh, this is late. And if there was a place where I could do comedy where it wasn't late, and then for me, I had to bring like 100 people to get a spot. Now I wasn't funny like you, you know. And I would get bumped for like you and Jamie Foxx and who else? So many great people bumped me, and then I had to try to beg these people to come back. So I'm like, you know what? When YouTube came around, I'm like, this is it. I can put something right here, and hopefully somebody see it. You know?
I love it.
So when I got 20 people, I'm like, okay. 100 people, I'm like, okay, well, that's a comedy club.
Exactly.
20, 30, and then when it went to millions, then there you go.
That's so cool.
Did your life change?
Life changed overnight, because I was in Costco and, you know, getting my little free snacks.
Right,
and
right,
this girl was looking at me, and I was like, oh, we about to fight, because every time I walk somewhere, you walk somewhere. So I'm taking off my earrings, you know, and I'm like, it's about to go down next to the nuts, you know?
Right next to the nuts.
Right next to the nuts.
Always.
Right next to the mixed nuts. And right when I was like, oh, here it goes. She's like, oh, man, take a picture with you. And I was like, what?
Isn't that crazy?
So that's when I'm like, okay, there's something to this, because nobody asked for a picture with me at the comedy club.
Right.
Do you remember the first time? Do you remember the first time somebody asked you when they were like when they recognized you? Where were you?
I was at Costco next to the nuts.
Right next to nuts. That's the first time. That's when you
that
felt.
was
Oh, you weren't lying.
No, I'm not lying. She was following me, so I thought we was about to have a problem. I was like, we about to have some issues, and I was just trying to get some free snacks.
Right. Wow. That is crazy.
Cool.
Yes.
So here's just a question.
So she's got that picture somewhere. Whoever, you the first one.
I know, right?
It's worth a lot of money now.
Do you write a lot of your ideas before you do, or do you just do a lot of stuff off the top and just kind of hope, okay, this is gonna? Because it has to be tough when the numbers that you get. I saw the numbers you get. They're like out of this world.
Thank you.
You got to feel like, okay, this is gonna have to be up to par or as good as that last one.
You
is
start
it a
to
hit
feel
and miss
that way.
type situation?
It is, because you never know what's gonna hit.
Right.
You know, like I'm swimming in a tub full of cereal, and then next thing I know, you know.
Is that the one you were talking about, Dano? You were talking about a video, or was it Savvy?
I loved her. I love her.
You're hot. You have to turn it
real
on.
hot. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's crazy.
Off of that one, yeah.
I'm looking at it right now.
57 million.
On mine.
Wait, can you tell us about the cinnamon challenge again?
I almost died. So I was like, the cinnamon
That's
challenge.
not
And in the beginning, I'm talking, what's so cool? Who cares about cinnamon? Like, people eat cinnamon all the time. Right. So I'm like, I didn't have a spoon. So I'm like, I'll get a ladle. All right, just amp it up. What's the big deal?
Right.
So I get this ladle, and I put it in my mouth, and I'm like, oh, this is why it's called a challenge. I'm about to die. Literally, it turns into like cake, like instant, like it. And then I'm like, oh, so now I'm laughing because this is a stupid way to die.
Right.
You know. Like this is dumb, and I'm getting on tape, so I'm watching my own murder here.
Right. You're
So I'm crawling. I'm trying to get some water out of the refrigerator, and I don't have time to pour it, so I'm pouring it, and then it just cakes up. I'm like, I'm
about to die.
I'm trying to give myself that.
You're by yourself?
I am. Yes, I'm by myself. I'm dying. And so then, finally, I turned the camera off, and I'm sitting there. I didn't tell other people this, that I'm hallucinating. Because people started doing what I was doing. I'm like, there's a dog with a hat turning around in the corner. Oh my gosh, there's a clown saying my name over and over again. And I'm like, I am tripping. Wow, this is interesting. But I knew when my husband came over to vacuum and it stopped the vacuum that I really was about to die. Yes.
Because
Dano's over there crying
we had
laughing.
to throw the vacuum away because it stopped it. So that's what was going on in my throat.
I just showed Savvy the cinnamon challenge, and the funniest part of that cinnamon is when you It looked like you just took too big a hit of weed and just powdered.
You couldn't see my face. It was just
Remember that.
the greatest and the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life. Because then it was the Today Show, Good Morning America. It was
Everybody.
like instant. I was like, oh my gosh, what's happening? I'm like,
So did you-
like,
did
look
you-
at this idiot?
I
My
blacked
family was
out.
like, I don't want anybody to know that I know you. You know, like you are the dumbest person on earth. You went to school and And then when former President Barack Obama calls, like, oh, that's my cousin, that's my niece, oh, that's my everybody love me.
So the Obamas were aware of who Glozell.
Their children were, and that's how I got into the White House. Yes.
Wow, that's
That
a beautiful
That's
thing.
amazing.
It's a beautiful thing. That's a big round of
Wow.
applause.
Yeah, that's like turning lemons into lemonade right there.
Right.
Absolutely.
And that changed my audience because up to then it's just suburban white
Yeah.
kids, and then all of a sudden, then it just kind of grew that way.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
So
crazy.
let me ask you this: like like YouTube is huge. You
Yes.
get people that say like that's their goal now to be a YouTuber.
Which is crazy because
Isn't
when
it crazy?
I grew up learning on the typewriter. Like I didn't
Right.
even have a computer.
Right.
And now people that
What city did you grow up in?
Orlando, Florida.
Orlando. Shout out to
Orlando.
Orlando, Florida.
Yeah.
We got a lot of people.
I'm from Southern Florida. By Miami. By Miami. Hollywood.
So Glozell, do you have like young fans that come up and be like, "Oh my God, I want to be like you"? How did
Yes.
you do?
All
Almost
the
to the
time.
point where you're like motivational to a lot of these kids. Like, tell us
like,
about it.
reach a little higher, folks, but that's okay. Just a little higher. Don't try to kill yourself.
Exactly.
Just a little higher.
So where have you? So have you been over like in the overseas, other cities? I mean,
yes.
outside that, would they recognize you too? Because YouTube is a global thing.
Definitely, because one time I was in London. I go into it's called Harrods, and I'm
Harrods.
like Harrods. Okay,
Yeah, that's
thank
like
you.
I love Harrods. Every time I'm there, I'm in shopping. It's like their
I can't go
Barney's.
in there.
It's their Nordstroms.
I cannot go in there because I have a very, very large Muslim community that loves me. Very large.
Wow.
Because my
Why Muslims?
Because I think because I'm clothed and it's funny and I'm not talking like you can understand what's going
Right,
on.
it's very
Classy
clear.
with
Right,
your,
right,
you're
classy
classy with your
and
comedy.
so not all videos can air in certain countries, and mine do.
Yes.
So these big booty twerkers and all this
God
nasty
bless
shit,
them.
they can't.
They get called over in secret and get money thrown them, I guess. But as far as videos being played in
Yours is very universal.
That's very
right,
cool.
so I go into what is it, Harrods?
Harrods.
And
It's
it's like,
HARRODS.
may I take a picture with you? You turn, you can't see a face. You can't see a face at all, like completely covered from head to toe.
Wow.
And then when I'm like, "Can I take a picture with you?" Like, no, we're not allowed.
That's
Who gonna know
crazy.
what? Who gonna know who you?
That's like somebody going, you know what? I love you so much. You are amazing. Can you take a picture? You can't take a picture. But
Cannot
I
take a-
love you.
Not even see the eyes.
Right,
Not
you
even
see the
eyes at all. Nothing.
Yeah, you can.
But following me everywhere.
So here's a question everybody wants to know, and you don't have to get you can answer this to the best of your ability, but I know people want to know this. YouTube. Everybody wants to know, how do you get paid on YouTube? How do I see?
goodness.
You see people, the comics that just started 3 weeks ago, and they're talking about, I'm viral now. I get a check from YouTube every month, and I'm one of the people that goes, is that true? Or do you have to have like a certain amount of millions to even get this and that? Explain to the people that so-called people that say they live off of YouTube, they get checks by you. Is that true? Or people just talking shit? What?
A lot of people are talking, but you get money a couple of ways from YouTube. One is from numbers, but that's the slowest way. Because you got to have 5-10,000 for a 50
That's what I mean. See, that's what I mean. That's what I wanted to know.
That's not it. But you also when you have a show, now you're selling T-shirts, you're doing this or
Merch,
that kind of thing.
merch
all the time because they see who you are. Or let's see, who is this? Spindrift. Never heard of them. You just kind of put them in.
They about to go viral now because Glozell drinking it.
We're gonna pay you, $2,500 to have this sitting in the back of one of your videos.
And it happens all the time.
Yes, and you don't even have to
Product
talk about
placement.
it. Yes,
Product placement, yeah.
things like that. And then I'm just mindful of the products that I put
And people do that, come to you all the time like that.
all the time. And then you turn things down and you take it.
So Savvy over here is a internet sensation.
Yes, he is.
Himself. And Savvy, I know you wanted to say something to Glozell also.
The funny thing about it, man, a slice of humble pie. I mean, I'm a humble dude. But when I walked in, I
my
engaged
gosh,
in
you
a
were so
conversation with Glozell. I was like, man, I said I organically, mustered up about 289,000. She was like, oh, that's cute.
Tickle, tickle.
Tickle, tickle.
Where did you start this morning?
I have more views than you have followers.
No. I'm so proud of you. That's great. That's great.
But the thing,
I started off with 10. I was proud of 10 people.
But you know what? The thing about it is, what I noticed after doing free comedy for so long and dishing out free content for so long, people start to say like, bro, are you monetizing? Are you getting money off this, bro? If not, you need to be on YouTube. But for whatever reason, YouTube does not work the way my Instagram works. Like, I'll throw up a video and I'll get 100, 200,000 views, and I'll throw up a video on YouTube and get 10 views. And I'm like, is it something that I'm doing wrong?
No, that's where your audience is. Your audience is on Instagram, and that's fine. People
It's just a different platform.
Right. It used to be on Vine, or it used to be on this,
Vine,
or
yeah.
some people are killing it on Facebook, and you're like, really? You know, so yours is Instagram. I would still post on YouTube because things come in waves.
Right.
They come in waves.
But in a way, numbers, I believe you can vouch for this. Numbers is king, because I notice now I'll get small businesses that will come to me and say, "Hey, Savvy, man, can you say the name of my vitamin water on your
Right.
account, man? And how much do you charge for that?" And I'm only sitting on about 289, so I know if my numbers were like yours, people would want to offer you more. Like, "Hey, bro, I'll shoot you about 3,000 if you could just say the name of my drink or my business."
Well, you combine
Product
it. You're
placement.
like, hey, to 2,500 or whatever you charge for your Instagram, and then also I'll post it on my Facebook, and then for that package deal, you get this and Snapchat or whatever you have.
Right.
Right.
Well, I just think it's absolutely amazing the platform that you were able to build. And the first time that I saw you, I couldn't stop laughing. It was the video.
This is the ice truck.
No, it was the video. She had some suction cups and she was putting them on her sister's stomach. And every time her sister would scream, like literally tears are coming out of my eyes. And then when you told me she was gonna be here today, the second I hit the corner and saw her, man, I couldn't stop laughing.
Hey,
so
man,
sweet.
I
love
enjoy
you. I
being
love
around
you.
funny people.
You got that effect. Now, if you got that effect on
I used to
ISIS.
stalk you like
on.
everywhere I go. I'm like, oh my! I used to go to the show that used to open up for every Friday.
Who?
You. It
What
was
show?
like Jada and Will Smith had a show, and there was a comedy show. And
All
you-
of us?
Yes.
You used to come to that
Every
show?
Friday.
Oh, when I would do warm up.
Yes.
Yeah, why?
That's crazy. I didn't even know that.
Yes, it was so fun. I'm like, he's really good. He's really funny.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I was the
He's
one.
got something. You know?
Yes,
He's
yes.
got something.
He should keep that up.
Let me tell you
He's got
something.
young
I
man
was the
there.
warm up. I was the warm up king of Hollywood for about 10 years.
I'm like, how many jobs can you have?
Wait, one at a time. One
I
at a
had
time.
50 jobs.
One at a time so I can hear you.
No, I was saying Alex was making more money than actors were making on
Like, for real.
shows because he had a lineup of all the warm-ups.
Literally.
so that's like
Let me
crazy
just give you how say my week was in 2001. Right? 2001. A week would be for me living single on Tuesday. Wednesday would be the Wayans brothers. Thursday would be George Lopez. Friday, I used to do Gregory Hines show. He did his every week. The Parkers and Moesha.
Wow.
So literally, as a young stand-up comic, I was making like 30, 40 grand a week just doing warm-up.
That's insane.
So it did. I didn't have to go do the Texas Improv. I didn't have to do Pepper Bellies in Mississippi. I didn't have to do the Improv down in Tallahassee. I was making
So that was your
Hollywood
that was your
money.
different way.
That was my different way. So
Yes.
a lot of people, I didn't do a lot of the tours back then because I was able to stay home,
Amen.
make like TV money, but
Right.
still be able to audition and do TV and movies. So a lot of the guys, the Def Comedy Jam, I'm gonna just throw out a couple of names.
Call them out.
3 that you all know. Let's just say Bruce. Let's
Bruce.
say Earthquake.
Earthquake.
Let's say Arnaz J.
Yes.
Right? Those are the kind of guys that they were making $30,000-$40,000 a month doing stand-up, but on the road, but never auditioning for Hollywood. Right. So those guys never did TV and movies. They only had stand-up. There's nothing wrong with it. It was great money and stuff.
Right.
But I was able to make money as a stand-up, but still go on auditions during the day and be on all those shows.
I would beg
So that's what
comics.
that was the difference when I was coming up.
I was begging comics to go on YouTube when I started. I'm like, look, there's an audience right here.
I know.
But once you put your comedy up, then you can't use it again because if people hear it and see it, I'm like, it's 3
matter.
minutes, it's 5 minutes, it's 10 minutes. If you're funny, you can come up with 10 minutes.
So
Well,
now
you think
my
someone's gonna steal the
question to
jokes
you,
too?
Glozell, is what is your feeling on that? Because that's a big debate now. You get these guys that I'm not gonna say names, but say they have 5 million followers
Say the name. I'm just
and
kidding.
ain't got
Say the name.
ain't got 5 minutes of jokes. But they call themselves comedians because the little 1 minute clip on Instagram, and everybody laughing. Oh, he's funny. But when you say, come see him at the such and such this weekend,
Lord.
this motherfucker doesn't have 3 minutes of jokes,
It's
but you
a
paid $75
hot mess.
to see him. You know about that kind
It's
of
a
shit.
hot mess, and it's kind of tricky for me because I happen to have a comedy background and I happen to
Exactly.
be on YouTube.
Exactly.
But I do know that people do come just to see me. They don't care what I'm saying.
Right.
Right.
They
But
don't
it helps.
know.
But it helps
It does help.
that you actually have a
To have
personality and you
yes,
have something to say.
But I was surprised because I would see people with big numbers, and we'll be at VidCon, which is a conference for a lot of YouTubers.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, come on stage. Let's come on. I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
I'm like, what?
Isn't that crazy?
You've got millions of. You're not gonna get on stage and just say hi.
How crazy
And I was
is
like,
that?
Wow.
oh, and that makes a difference with staying power. Or
Exactly.
you can stay in your cubby hole. You
And
can
you know
stay
what that is?
there.
You know what else is that? You know
Wow.
you know what else that's called?
What is that called?
The truth.
I was just gonna say it. That's faking the funk. That's not
That's
keeping
the
it
truth.
real.
Your ass can't
You're
even
using-
get up and talk for 5 minutes,
Could not.
It's bullshit.
Big
but you got
name.
5
You
million
use-
followers.
Yeah, if
Right.
you
More
could use
than
the internet to put yourself out there and have all
Exactly.
those balls to do that. You know,
Exactly.
it's almost like the internet bullies, the cyber bullies. You know, they could do all that all that talk. You know what I mean? But
Right.
then when you
Yeah.
come face to face and you
Yeah,
don't say
exactly, exactly.
On the
you
flip
know?
side, they're making a living. They're doing their
Can't say-
thing.
can't hate
but
on it.
when the platform changes, and it changes all the time,
It does.
then you're just like,
you got
womp,
to take
womp, womp.
advantage of these things while because
Exactly.
I feel like the
It will
tech rope is moving so fast now. People that got into it early, they really benefit. Like Kevin Hart did with Facebook, like Dane Cook did with Facebook, and how they just got in at the right time. I just hate in this day and age how people are judging you by your numbers.
Oh, that's
Judging you by it's crazy. Like you'll see somebody that is treated like a fucking star.
Yeah.
Because they have a certain amount, and they're looking at
That's
you take
true.
a guy like me that really has done 20 movies, really has been on TV, and they're like,
That's
"Hey,
true.
how you doing, buddy? Are you on the list?" Like Jesus Christ! But little puppy dog over here, this nigga,
Well, he's out right now, but
look,
Puppy Dog,
Jiggle Cheeks 23, the twerker.
Jiggle
she's
Cheeks 23.
they gonna care about her next year.
she's being treated like she's Jada Pinkett Smith or some shit.
Come and go, come and
but she
go,
made-
come
yeah,
and go,
Glozell
come
made a
and
point,
go.
yeah.
But you've had staying power, which is very big round of applause
Hell
for
yeah.
that because you're actually talented.
I appreciate that.
Speaking
so
of that,
dope.
what is some stuff that's coming up? What is this turned into from you? This YouTube platform, what has it turned in for you? What's next for Glozell?
Outside of doing, it's interesting that you mentioned Kevin Hart because he's like, hey, and I met him around the same time, right there in the.
Oh, you met all of us around that time?
around the same time.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I went to Canada. He's like, I'm doing a movie. Why don't you?
Oh, for the Just for Last festival?
No, well, I was there for Just for Last Festival, but I also interviewed him and his cast for Fatherhood.
Okay.
Because what happened
New
is,
movie, right?
Yes. Now he's
Okay.
not. This is not a comedy. So he's reaching out to different ways for different audiences.
Right.
And so that's where that come in. And he's like, it's full circle.
Right.
Yeah.
So now, and then you call like the same week. I'm like, what is happening?
You know, I know what's happening.
That's the
God.
universe.
Yeah.
But
That's
when
the universe. You're
like,
aligned of where you're supposed to be.
I'm
Always
like,
trust
Alex, I'm like, did Kevin call him? Like, do they?
Are you really serious?
I'm
all
serious.
that happened in the same
It
week?
all happened this. I just
Wow.
came back from Canada. He flew me there, and then you called. I'm like, what is happening? Like my world, these people that I've known, that I met,
Yeah.
that I love and admire and watch.
Right.
And now here we are.
You know what that means too? That means I love
good
that you say
person.
that. It makes me feel good. It shows when you put a certain energy out.
Yeah.
And you're a certain way, things come back around. I truly
circle,
believe that.
yeah.
I live by the golden rule. You do unto others
Yes.
as you would have them do unto you. And I just feel like, just like I talk about with Savvy all the time, I feel like, man, it wouldn't hurt somebody like myself to help somebody else out because you never know how it's gonna come back around. I see people that are just mean by nature, they're haters by nature, and I'm like, dude, karma is real.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
You never know who you always hear about. You got to watch who you talk shit to.
Right.
You got to watch the way you treat people because you never know who's going to be that one that may be able to come back around and help you out. I
You never
truly
know.
believe that.
Because I wasn't the one killing it in the comedy clubs. I wasn't the
But you
one.
found a way.
Yes, I found a way. I found my niche.
You found your niche.
So you never know.
You know, does this come up either? You should have like your own lipstick line because
I was gonna say,
see all
like,
the
I have to-
Kardashians and the Jenners doing it, but your lips is like they out there, girl.
I love this green. Green is also one of my favorite colors. I love
your
green.
earrings.
I
Oh,
love
thank
thanks.
you.
The greens. You like
Yes.
the greens. You're the greens.
Has that come up?
It has come up, but it has not come into fruition. So like, I'm gonna have to do that.
You should, and your name alone.
And so it is,
the
and so it
brand
shall
of the
be.
Lipstick.
Yes, green.
I mean,
Glozell.
it sounds dope, like Glozell. Bam.
It does.
Aw.
Now here's what's so
It does.
funny. How about this? I have a joke that I've been doing
Oh, Jesus.
for, and you know the joke. As long I never told anybody where I got it from, but I'm about to say it right now. I've really known this girl over 15 years, right?
Yes.
And when we first met, I was like, Glozell. I was like, nigga, what kind of name is that?
I know, just clown me.
Right? And I was like, and I don't know if I added. I guess now that you're in front of my face, I guess I got to tell the joke first.
Go ahead.
And then you tell me, did I make this shit up, or I could have sworn you told me this. I don't know, but when I'm in Denver doing the joke, they don't know. I said, yeah, man, there's a joke I do about how black people take mama's and daddy's names and put them together to come up with names, right? I said, black people, we got to stop this shit. I said, I met a little girl the other day. I was like, what's your name? She like, Glozell. I was like, how'd you get your name? Well, my mama's name is Gloria. My daddy's name is Ozell. So they just came with Glozell. I'm like, her credit was fucked up from the beginning. They know you a nigga coming to the door with the name Glozell.
Oh, first of all, I'm honored that you say that, and that's 1,000% true. And I named my daughter Ozell, so I'm like,
I'm gonna fuck you up. Are you serious?
Her name is Ozell.
No!
After my dad.
You just continued on my goddamn joke.
Yes, her name is Ozell, yes.
So it was. So you did tell me that story.
1,000%.
At first I thought I made this shit up, because when I do it on the road, when I
Yes.
tell you motherfuckers fall out.
What'd she say?
I did that joke in Jerusalem, and the goddamn
I've been to Jerusalem.
rabbis fell out. They were like, Glozell. Oh, it's.
Glozell.
Ozell, yes, I've been to Jerusalem. Yes, 1,000%. My father's name Ozell, my mother's name Gloria. They put it together.
So I did get that joke.
I
Yes.
love it. It's
And
beautiful.
Now my
You
daughter's
love
name
it.
Ozell. Yes.
I didn't even remember. A lot of times as comics, people are, how do you come up with material? Just be, you just be hearing shit. And I don't know. I was like, did she tell me that?
Yes. I'm
That's
so
a famous
honored.
joke now. Yes, yes,
It
yes.
is famous.
No, what's so funny is my wife, she got her name is the same, but it came out pretty with her name. So her dad's name.
Oh, it came out pretty with her name.
No, I didn't say that
you
like
want me to
your
smack
name is
him for you?
no.
Smack him
You want
for
me to fucking whack this guy?
Oh, her name was pretty.
No.
What
So
the
my
fuck does that mean? The fuck?
my wife's dad's name is Brad,
Brad.
and her mom's name is Rosie.
Roll Brad.
Rosie? No.
Brad-
You said
Brad-
roll Brad.
Bradley.
Real close. Ready? Brazy.
Oh, that's nice.
BRA from Brad and SIE from Rosie. So
that's
Brazy.
nice.
That's nice. That's
So,
really
but
nice.
when I tell LA niggas that, I say Brazy, be like, is she a blood? Because Bloods don't say anything
They
with
don't
C,
with
and
Cs.
Crips don't say anything with me. So, like YG, the famous rapper,
Yeah.
he will not say crazy.
He says brazy.
He says Brazy.
Yeah.
So he has a famous
shit.
song called "That Shit Brazy,"
Yeah.
and unfortunately, that's my wife's theme song. While we're having sex, so look, nigga, that shit brazy. That shit brazy. Real talk. No, this one. No.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
I had a
Brad,
question.
what is your wife's mom and dad? What's the nationality?
Black as hell.
Brad. I was gonna say Brad.
Put it this way.
I don't know. I
Put it this
assumed
way.
white.
Put it this way.
Bradford.
Put it this way. My wife's dad
Yeah.
will make Doc look light skinned.
Blacker than 100 Midnights.
He looked like the 5 Heartbeats. And he looked like one of the Temptations. This nigga is
school
purple.
pimp.
This nigga is a half past midnight. Okay, he's
Ooh, blue
dark
highlights.
as hell. But her mom almost looks white. People think she's white.
Makes-
So
okay.
just that's how she came out her color. So yeah.
Nice.
Congratulations on YouTube because
Yeah.
Big Mouth
Thank
Boss, she
you.
has a 3-year-old daughter also.
Yes,
Congratulations.
That's right.
Ozell.
She is a mommy.
Yes.
How does it feel to be a mommy, Glozell?
Excellent. And her name is Ozell, and now you
I love it.
You're just gonna talk about her. And
No,
you'll just-
not at all.
No, I love it. It's all good.
I love it.
Brand it. We're gonna brand it. It's all good.
Yes.
That's what I'm
That's
talking
right.
about. Isn't it great being a parent?
It is because she works too.
Oh, wow.
She already got a
You
job.
better hold that Fisher Price. You know, smile, girl.
Oh, she want to be like Lil Ryan?
Yeah.
Speaking of Ryan, y'all know about Ryan?
I know about
You know
Ryan.
about Ryan.
People
I know
ask
about
what
Ryan.
you want to be when you grow up. It's like what you want to be now.
Dude, Ryan was on the Forbes list.
Yeah.
Every day of my life, I either have to buy something Ryan or my daughter's talking about Ryan. He's a little Asian kid.
Yes,
He's on the Forbes list, and all he does is open toys, play with toys.
Yeah, he
That's
reviews.
good.
He reviews toys.
And he's got his own show, I think, on Disney or Nickelodeon or something. Dude,
Yeah, does reviews.
dude, we went.
Excellent.
We went to the Orange County Fair a couple weeks ago, and you throw the balls to hit shit. So you get my daughter. I won my daughter a Ryan doll. I'm like, this nigga Ryan is everywhere.
He opened up his own self.
Right. They are getting paid. Ryan is pulling up.
He opened up himself.
Ryan is pulling up to third grade with an iced out skateboard. You know,
Wasn't he making like 13 million like a month or
Something
something,
like that.
or a year or something? It started off with like 2 million and then it went up to.
And parents
for
are
him.
like, you think I should let my kid be on the internet?
If you monitor it, right? How do you feel? Would
Yes!
you? And that's
Yeah,
a good
depends
question
on the
for
kid.
you.
Yes,
It depends
retire.
on the kid. It
Yeah,
depends
you
on
know
the
what I
kid,
mean?
right?
Manage it.
wait, one
Would
at a
you
time.
allow-
One at a time. Say what you said.
No, I was saying it depends on the kid though. It depends on.
You
your
talking about
kid.
you can't force them or
Oh,
push
no,
them.
no.
Yeah. Like people always ask me,
No.
they just automatically assume since
Right.
we're entertainers,
Yes.
are you gonna make no? She just has a natural little personality, which gonna happen organically. Yeah, she got a little Instagram and a little this and that, but you know, it's like if it happens, it happens. I'm not
Right.
forcing my kid
Right,
to be.
right,
How do you
right.
feel about that?
Oh no, I'm forcing her. This is the family business. This is what we do. I am
We're
the
in this
Joe
together.
Jackson. This is
So you-
dance.
So you walk in the room, and be like, y'all did anything viral today? I said, did y'all do anything viral today?
Right.
If it
Smile.
ain't trending, you on the bed. You want some pizza?
That's right.
Give me 2 million views.
It's really
Get
that
that
simple.
DiGiorno's. Get the DiGiorno's
But
box out.
she's used to the camera, and that's. I mean,
That's
her
the
birth
same
was
thing,
born.
yeah.
It's all on the internet. I mean, so that's how it is.
That's just in their generation. That's
Yes,
how
and
it
she
is.
loves. She see the camera. Hey,
That
you
is
know,
so cool.
I feel like you would be a natural guide through her. You know what I mean? If she
Definitely.
does want to, you'd be
Right.
because you wouldn't know. You know what's BS and what's not, and God, man, you'd be great at that.
Oh, thank
You'd
you,
be
thank you,
fantastic.
thank you.
So do you feel
Fisher
we're in an
Price.
overload with internet and kids on computers and
Do I feel the
virtual world?
overload? I'm
Yeah,
like, watch Glozell.
Exactly.
Watch Glozell.
Okay.
And I mean, what I'm putting out there is good. I'm not, but there is an overload because you got to make sure that you are watching. Like they can't watch 2, 3, 5, 10 hours, and they're 2 and 3 years old.
Yeah. See, I mix it up with my kids. They both have. It's crazy. My 1-year-old has an iPad and she has an iPad at 4. It's
And they
crazy.
know how to.
Oh, they know how to navigate and this and that
Yes.
and everything. But we just have to be like, okay, 2-3 hours on that, and the rest you're really right because there is some shit still called paper
Right.
and pencils and writing.
Exactly.
And don't get me wrong. Yeah, you can go on the internet and learn how to tie your shoes.
Yes.
But I mean, you can go on the internet now and learn how to make a fucking bomb. You know what I mean?
Exactly
But
right.
for the last 3 days, I just taught Halo how to tie her shoes. You know what I mean? So I'm excited about that. She's learning how to write her name. Yeah, she can be on the iPad all she wants, but it's still that old school shit.
Yep.
Yes.
You were still gonna write. We still open books.
Right.
And teach her how to read. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
I
So-
miss going outside playing, playing in the trees and climbing trees, skateboarding in the streets,
Exactly,
hanging out,
exactly.
just literally just hanging outside.
Kids don't do that.
Outside.
My daughter does go to Chinese school.
Does she really?
Yeah, she goes to
To learn Chinese or an all Chinese school?
They only speak Chinese. She goes to
wow.
Ni Hao Chinese
Ni
school.
Hao.
Are
Yes,
you serious?
Yes.
Only?
And only. And
Why?
I love the discipline. So I'm
cool.
understanding you writing. She's writing. She's got to learn in characters and. But now, there I do talk about stories where she gets mad at me and she's like, sunset. And I'm like, oh, this little
You don't
trick,
know if she cussed you out
she
in
done
Chinese.
she should have toddler cussed me out in Chinese.
Yeah, exactly.
So wait, do you get to learn? You get to learn Chinese along with her? What? Do you feel like you learned it too?
She's past me.
So you have
but-
to pack her chopsticks every morning in her backpack. And,
That they give them to her. They go,
Wow,
You
that's
real
so
funny.
cool.
Yeah.
well,
so dope.
ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say just real quick before you go, let everybody know how they can find you. Glozell, you could be here for another 2 hours with us. I feel
love
like
it.
you just
I
got
love
to come back
everybody
and
here.
visit us, like for
Please,
real.
please don't let it be another. I was thinking
Another
17
10
years. It's been like 17 years.
We need to do
No,
a video
come right
together.
back.
Wait.
I see you have people in your videos all the time. We just got to figure it out.
Yes, please do. Please, you can catch me out. I'll be in Vanity Fair spread in November. I have all that October, the show on Nickelodeon, all that.
Yes.
Yes.
All that is back.
Yes, all
It
that is
stopped
back.
for years.
Yeah, for years.
Nick Cannon used to be on
20
the
years.
Cannon Towns.
Yes,
All of the,
and so now it's back, and you can.
And what are you doing on that?
I am a mom on the show to one of the kids, one of the black kids, of course.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
TV money.
Her name is Gabby. Yes, and so that's coming up, and I can't think of anything else outside of just make sure you check me out at Glozell on YouTube, Instagram, and all social media.
Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Love you.
Yeah, mazel tov.
So we have a special mix right now, and he's calling it All Things Green. Anything that got to do with green, it could be weed to Al Green. You never know.
Oh, good old cousin.
DJ Daniel, let us hear it, bro.
All right, let's
go.
get at it. Let's get at it.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Funny Don't Stop Show. The Mixdown's coming up. Let's get it.
Hey, it's your boy, DJ Dano.
That's dope.
From the Funny Don't Stop Show, right here on Dash Radio, Marcus King presents. Fuck 'em down, or you get busted.
Yo, me say this is from the west is the best hurt. Nothing more, nothing less from the western. And we blaze Cali green till we chest hurt. It's the best hurt on the scene. Cali green, Cali green, Cali green. Give me my Cali green. Oh yeah. One spliff a day, two spliff a day, three spliff a day keeps the bad man away. Burn purple haze, right in LA. Yeah, Cali green makes me fly like a plane. Yeah, the West Coast, call it the Cess Coast. Burn a long rope when me down a humboat. When I'm on the beach, burn a Vicky Beach. Strawberry, blueberry with a little cheese in Hollywood. I smoke the roots while I drive. God knows, I smoke the weed. I feel so free, I could fly. That's why this says from the west is the best hurt. Nothing more, nothing less from the western. And we blaze Cali green till we chest hurt. It's the best herb on the scene. Cali green, Cali green, Cali green. Give me my Cali green. Oh yeah. Call up slightly stupid, I link up Snoop Dogg, Bob and Peter Tosh, rocking in my jukebox. Yeah, my shirt off, repping like I'm Tupac. Then I blow smoke higher than the rooftops. Down at Santa Barbara, we call them ganja farmer. Primos in San Jose, Fuma la marijuana. On every open corner, you get the doctor's order. Me say big up the bay, them medicate the ganja. Says from the west is the best herb. Nothing more, nothing less from the western. And we blaze Cali green till we chest hurt. It's the best herb on the scene. Cali green. Split up, let me trip, you get a whip up all the Cali. Cali burning red. Smoking on the streets like I'm a cheap. Them the police, we tell them Cali. Cali burning red.
Something that can make you do wrong. Something that can make you do wrong. Make you do right. Something that can make you do wrong. Yeah. Something that can make you do wrong. Make you do right. your little boyfriend. See you driving around town with the girl I love, and I'm like, fuck you. I guess the change in my pocket wasn't enough. I'm like, fuck you, and fuck her too. Said if I was richer, I'd still be with ya. Now ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? And although that's pain in my chest, I still wish you the best with the fuck you.
gang, it's Patty Packenpepper here from Green Bay, Wisconsin. And let me tell you, Tom and I listen to the Funny Don't Stop show every Tuesday night at Marcus King Presents Dash Comedy Radio. Trust me, the cheese tastes so much better when you're laughing your buns off.
Yeah. That girl Dara is absolutely hilarious. Big round of applause one more time for our girl Glozell.
Yes, Glozell.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Savage Sports Report.
Yes.
Yes. What do we got?
Yeah, big round of applause. Big round of applause.
Listen, all of y'all, this is sabotage.
Yes,
Listen,
yes.
all of y'all, this is sabotage.
It's that time.
Get it?
Oh, I thought we had some music.
Nobody knows about Beastie Boys? Remember sabotage? No?
Yeah.
Sabotage time. Let's go.
Yeah, this is Sabotage.
Oh, God.
And now, it is time for Savage Sports Talk, brought to you by Savvy the Amusing, only on Dash Radio's The Funny Don't Stop Show.
Hey. I like that. I got to make sure I say that right next time, because, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be honest. I'm a real honest dude. This is the first time for that segment.
Yeah.
And it's called the Savage Sports Report.
That's right.
That's what it is, right? The Savage Sports Report.
Sports Report, man.
That's what's up. And that's what you know. That's what you do,
That's
man.
what I know.
Talk to
That's
us.
what I do, man.
What's
So I'm
going on
about
in
to give it
sports
to you.
world, Savvy?
All right, number one, I want to give a shout out to my man, Michael Thomas. Saints just reached a deal with wide receiver Michael Thomas, $100 million deal.
Hold up.
Making him the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL.
How much is that? Is
That's
guaranteed?
crazy.
$61 million guaranteed.
Did he have those type of numbers?
Man, Michael
I mean,
Thomas.
I'm not knocking anybody's ability because it's, you know what I mean? That's, but damn.
He's not considered in the top 5
They don't
He is
receivers,
now.
right?
He is now.
No, it's fine. No, monetarily,
You
but I
talking
mean,
about
it's just
yardage-wise
I just
and
mean,
stats.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because see, the thing about it, the Saints have kind of been pegged for the last couple of seasons at the wide receiver position. Michael Thomas has been carrying a hell of a workload, and he's been a hell of a reliable
Receiver.
a receiver, man.
And he's got Drew Brees, one of the greatest of all time.
Right.
So, I mean, you going to get the ball with a guy
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
But shout out to him for making that kind of money.
Not mad.
Not
Yeah,
mad
not mad at all,
Yeah,
man.
get your paper. Get
I
your
just
paper.
meant
Yeah, not mad at
productivity
all.
when you start thinking about wide receivers,
Right,
right?
right.
You know, top 3, I think you would think of Julio Jones.
Julio
you
Jones,
think of Julio
Antonio
Jones,
Brown,
Odell
Odell
Beckham,
Beckham. So his name,
DeAndre Hopkins.
yeah. So
And they kind of shy and don't speak on Michael Thomas the way they should, but the
You know what
boy
it
is
is?
a bad boy.
But you know what it is? A lot of times in sports, people don't realize it depends on the market that you're in.
absolutely.
That's true, too.
So when you're in a city like that, it's different when you're in New York, you're in LA. You get what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
You're gonna get, you're gonna get more exposure. People are gonna be talking about you more. So what happens is also that steps up the game for the next guy coming along.
Oh, you better believe
Remember
that.
when Megatron first got $187 million when he was a wide receiver?
Yeah.
for
Christ,
the
that's a
Detroit.
lot of
That
money.
stepped the bar up.
Yeah.
You know
He was
what I
a
mean?
bad boy.
He was one of the best ever. Remember, he
He was a bad
retired.
boy. He
early,
retired
too.
early. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's another one, Savvy?
All right,
That's a
man.
lot of
Moving
money.
on to the next one. Running back Ezekiel Elliott is still on a hold. I'm sorry, Dallas Cowboys running back Ezekiel
exactly.
Elliott
Exactly.
is still holding out, and he's waiting for a long-term deal from the Dallas Cowboys, and he's you know, I don't know if he's going to get that contract sooner or later, but Jerry Jones feels like I'm not going to worry about it, and it will happen.
Do you think he's going to pull off the whole, old boy last year? How am I going to forget it? Le'Veon Bell said, fuck it. If I don't get my money, I'm sitting out the entire year. Right. Waited a year. But then came back and got paid. Do you think Ezekiel's going to pull one of those?
Dallas needs him.
Dallas, and he know they need him too.
Dallas needs him.
Oh, no, they need him. He's an integral part of their offense.
Absolutely.
Right. And see, here's the
song before.
Oh, go ahead, bro.
No, I'm sorry. We seen this song before with Emmitt Smith. We seen it. He's going to play it out, and hopefully the Dallas Cowboys lose, and then he'll be forced to give him his money. But Jerry Jones, when you got money like that, he's not going to let Ezekiel Elliott get the higher ground. So
he's not, because he still has to sell tickets at the end of the day, and he's a young star. He's not like one of these dudes over the hill. Like this dude, between him and Dak,
he's going to have to feel
selling out that stadium.
He's going to have to feel the pressure in order to pay him. He's not going to pay him.
Yeah, but see, here's the...
You don't think Jerry Jones is going to pay him?
Only if the Dallas Cowboys start the season off and they go like 0-3. Like they did when Emmitt had to get his money, and Emmitt had definitely a way better kind of situation than going into it than Ezekiel. Right. So if you know, Emmitt had to beg for his money too on his last deal.
And we all know one reason why historically running backs are the ones fighting for their money is because they have like the shortest lifespan.
Absolutely, a running back is good. What, 3 to 5 years?
You go 6, 7, you came up.
Yeah, right.
So you don't know when you're gonna get another deal.
Absolutely,
like that.
And that's what I'm saying. The fucked up position that the kid is in is because he knows that the life of a running back is very short-lived. They take more punishment than anybody on the field. So he's asking for his money. You mess around and play out that rookie contract, and then they start saying, "Oh, well, he's old. He's banged up. He doesn't deserve $100 million."
They used you like you said on that rookie contract for that 3 years. They got everything they got out of you and didn't really pay you because you was on that rookie contract.
Ezekiel has made a name for himself. Number one, though, you're with so-called America's team, the Dallas Cowboys.
Like you said,
and he made I know, I hate to say it like that, but it's one of those kind of things that say he did pull a strong arm move and say not play this year. Trust me, the phones will be 28 phone calls will be coming in.
Believe it.
Because he's going to help you sell tickets and he's going to be productive on the field. You better believe What's the next one?
Next one here, man. I really want to get y'all opinion on this one, man. Carmelo Anthony shoots over, scores over 20 points a game. 73% better than it has been in the past, and Carmelo Anthony is still a free agent. Why is that, ladies and gentlemen?
You want to start, Sid? Because I got an explanation for that.
I think people learn too late that sports is a lot like corporate America. So it's not about what you do, it's how you are perceived and what is your image in the workplace. And unfortunately, once you lose that image, it's hard to gain it back. Yeah. And I think in the case of Carmelo Anthony, he has a bad image as far as how he plays well in a sandbox with others. Right. And the fact that, although they're friends off the court, but on the court, and I think that that's carrying a weight with him, and he's not going to be able to shake that at the end of the day.
Are you talking about his relationship with, like, all the guys that came in with him, CP3, LeBron? Well, Chris hasn't won a championship either.
But I want to say, do we think that's what it is? Is it because of his relationships, or is it because he really hasn't won and hasn't really done?
That's what I want to know.
I mean, he was
it's definitely, a tough call, man,
definitely
you can't knock his body of work.
He's a prolific scorer.
They don't think he's going to go out like Allen Iverson, whereas he has the mentality where he's not going to be the journeyman and be the team player, where you were the franchise guy, then you were the starter, then you were the guy to come off the bench.
He had his chances.
You were the journeyman, and so he wasn't able to be the good come off the bench guy when he had that shot at the Rockets.
Well, that's because his mentality was he didn't feel that he was a player that should come off the bench, first of all.
And so that's why he won't get signed.
How do you feel about that, Savvy?
Well, the funny thing about it is, I think Alex mentioned last week about players getting traded or dropped just out of nowhere. Like you suiting up, you ready to play, and all of a sudden,
when Cedric Ceballos got traded, while he was putting his uniform on,
right?
Yeah,
in the layup line,
you can take those socks off.
Yeah.
You're not
you're not playing today.
Yeah,
but exactly. Layups. No, come on.
Act like you're about to drink that Gatorade.
Oh, no.
You've been traded. That's not your Gatorade anymore. You're going to have to go to another team to finish that. Okay.
I'll just take this instead. Thank you very much.
No, but I want to finish what you're going to say.
And that's what Anthony said. Anthony said he was literally getting ready to suit up for a Rockets game. And the owner come in there and say, hey man, it's not working out. He's like, what do you mean? I'm suiting up. And he told him like, well, not today.
Not today.
Like, it's not,
You're suiting up, just not in this uniform.
It's not working out.
You be in a CNR suit.
Right. And then to teeter off of that, you know, Jeremy Lin.
Yeah.
For the Raptors is almost in tears, like, wow, I feel like the NBA threw me in the trash. They don't want me anymore. Yeah. So the NBA,
they used him for his image of a Chinese guy making it in the NBA. But then again, he never went to the top level either. So.
Right. Well, he just won a championship under the wing of Kawhi Leonard. Yeah. So is it like that? Is it like what Ced just said? When the NBA simply doesn't want you no more? Are you blackballed? Are you just done?
Well, you have to do something. First of all, let me just say this. You have to do something to be blackballed. But let's back up a little bit and let's just use Carmelo as an example. The dude got a squad, and what happened was he wasn't able, let's just use New York. Actually I can use two examples with him. He had the Denver Nuggets where he came into the league as a Nugget, right? And then he had another huge team, New York. Those were his chances to be like, if you're this superstar, you should be able to change things around here and you should be able to make guys get better, right? We always hear about great players are determined on did they make people around them better, right? So we cannot say that Carmelo didn't have his opportunity.
He had it.
Right? He had an equal opportunity just like LeBron did, just like Chris Paul did. Chris still hasn't won yet. But I just think he was a little cocky. People think that he was like overhyped. You know, he's a guy that he was a one and done dude at Syracuse. Mm-hmm. You know, he won a championship right away, went straight to the pros. A lot of times people are just kind of like overhyped and they're expected to do all this, and it just didn't pan out. I almost look at Carmelo like he's going to be like the new millennium's Charles Barkley. And what I mean by that, Charles Barkley will go down as one of the greatest basketball players ever. Played 14, 15 years, never won a ring.
Yeah.
Got the respect of all the best players ever. Right. If you ask Michael Jordan right now, who was one of your toughest opponents? Who did you wish could have been on your team with you? Everybody would have said Charles Barkley.
Right.
Carmelo's kind of like the same way. If he doesn't, if not, he will be like Allen Iverson, like you said. If he doesn't get on a team this year, I think he's done. And he went off as a great individual.
Yeah.
Went to a lot of All-Star games. Never got a ring.
I don't know if his name will come up as one of the greatest, like Charles Barkley. I don't think he was that.
You might be right.
He's
not one of them. He's a little overhyped.
I
think he's overhyped.
Yeah.
They rebutted that too. They said they don't even know if the man deserves a farewell tour.
Well, no.
Yeah, that's kind of weird because he did kind of play on how many teams? Denver.
What, 3, right?
New York.
3 or 4?
Rockets.
New York, Denver,
LKC.
He would be real upset because I think that has a lot to do with his surroundings and everybody around him got that type of treatment.
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to get that treatment. You know what I mean? He made top-notch money in his career.
I'm sure he made over $100 million.
He made over 100.
Yeah, you're not owed that. You got your paper. You were here to do a job and do a service, and you know.
But you can't make at the end of the day, he made it to the highest level. He was able to take care of his family. I know he wants to be mentioned in the same ballpark as some of these other guys. It just didn't pan out for him.
Man, go overseas and play in Croatia.
And that's one thing I think that nigga is not going to do. Some dudes have to suck that up, and next thing you know, you're playing on the Pakistan Pacers.
Pakistan Pacers.
Somebody.
Because I think to him that would be
that's a downgrade.
Yeah, that would be beneath him to go play overseas. I think that would be his.
Coming in for the win,
Pakistan Pacers. That's hilarious.
Yeah, so sometimes at the end of your career it didn't work out, so you got to go play for the Taliban Pelicans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's
dropping bombs.
You still dropping bombs. You want to get a check because a lot of dudes do that.
So funny.
But it's just your pride, the pride that you're playing in Bosnia now. Nigga. That's how many T-shirts and merch are you going to be selling to terrorists?
Yeah. So when he was talking about Ezekiel before, I was like, you guys ever had Ezekiel bread? By the way, I know about Ezekiel bread.
Oh wow.
So I think we got to wrap it up, guys.
That's it, Savvy?
Is that it, Savvy? Did you have one more?
He's done.
We're going to end it on Pakistan Pacers.
Pacers shut it down.
Savvy, you never had Ezekiel bread?
I've never had Ezekiel bread.
What is Ezekiel bread?
It's like a sprouted bread. It's like it doesn't have no preservatives and no fake crap.
Was that only sold in your neighborhood?
Yeah, where do you get that?
Was there a truck? Was there a truck that drove around your neighborhood?
Your ass lives down the street, you jerk.
Ezekiel bread.
Ezekiel bread.
Okay. Unfortunately, no one here has ever had an Ezekiel bread sandwich.
Tuesday.
I'll go buy some.
Can you bring some?
It's not that exciting, but it's good.
Can you get it at Ralph's?
Yeah.
Ezekiel bread.
Yes.
Yeah, it's 9/11.
Has anybody ever seen it?
It's 9/11, right?
I've never seen it
It's
before.
9/11, right?
it's just-
9/11.
9/11.
What is that?
9/11,
I
I
don't
think.
fucking
you
know.
said.
Am I the only
It's
person?
healthy bread.
It doesn't have any
It
leavening.
doesn't
agent.
have
Dara's
any-
like,
doesn't
it's
have any-
fucking healthy bread, guys. Fuck you
Yeah,
guys.
fuck,
Me and my family had it. Shit.
Yeah, it doesn't have
taking
any
ass.
leavening agents in it.
Well, we're going to end it on Ezekiel bread.
There's a bunch of nuts in it, all right?
Where can they find you at, Dara?
Only one Dara. ONLY, the number 1 DARA.
Okay, it's Savvy.
IG savvy _amusing.
Is there Ezekiel bread at In-N-Out? Okay, said bread.
Yeah, next week you can find me eating a kosher Ezekiel bread. At
It's good for you.
BRASS. Yes, definitely.
DJ Dano.
Yeah, I am DJ Dano. That's simple. 2 N's in Dano and just hook it up on all the.
And we're just going to fix your mic one day and
One
it's just
day.
going to work.
One day.
Motherfucker, everybody's talking on mics. You sound like you're on a walkie-talkie. He's like over and out, 10-4, 10-4. I
You
am.
sounding like a Decepticon over there.
Right. And ladies and gentlemen, you can catch me at Funny Man Alex Thomas. The hashtag is The Funny Don't Stop. And the name of the show is
The Funny Don't Stop
Show. Yes.
Funny don't stop show. The funny don't stop. Hey, the funny don't stop show. The funny don't stop. Hey, the funny don't stop show. The funny don't stop. The funny don't stop show. The funny don't stop. Hey, the funny don't stop show. The funny don't stop. Hey, the funny don't stop show. The funny don't stop. The funny don't stop show. The funny don't stop. The funny don't stop show. The funny don't stop. Hey. The funny don't stop show. The funny don't stop. Hey, the funny don't stop show.
Alex, you go to In-N-Out. Let me get a double on Ezekiel bread.
It's more grainy, right? It's like a more grainy.
A double on Ezekiel bread.
Take a good healthy.
Real quick, Dara. Real quick.
You take a good healthy. Take a good duty.
Okay.
Make a good
Put
fucking
your headphones
duty.
on. Duty.
Make
Okay.
a good fucking duty.
Okay. Okay. Okay, ready? There you go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I know, that's what I said. You gotta have the iPad. Oh, yeah. Fuck you. Fuck you.
You have pisser.
Your eyes are closed.
Oh.
1, 2, 3.
I'm just gonna give you an extra one so you can just.
Okay, now a video of you just moving around, different faces and all that shit.
Moving around in different places. Root scooting, baby. Really? Like that stuff? No?
I love it. Give me a face or something.
Oh, you want to give me a face?
Thank
Want me to give you a face?
Okay.
Really?
Dara, speaking of that, Europe, tell us about it. You got it. What do you what's your job in Europe? You singing? You working? What you doing?
So it was to
Twerking.
go on tour. Yeah,
Twerking in
it's twerking in Europe. It's to go on tour with Eric Sermon.
That's
Yeah,
dope.
go working with my boy
Doing
Eric.
what?
Being the road manager for the whole crew.
There you have it.
Yeah, he knows I need to make some extra money, so.
That is good shit. Hey,
We'll see if it
EPMD is
works out.
huge over there. How
Yeah.
many cities you guys gonna do?
I'm not sure yet because I don't.
Well,
I haven't committed to it yet, so we shall see. It's